Yo, what's going on, guys? Bigfoot back in the brick room, and as you can see, we have the 75386, the pre-Visla, Visla, and Moff Gideon battle. But as you see here on the table, but in the picture, there's a difference in playability or displayability. And that was a goal with this modification. I won't exactly show you how to modify this set completely, just because on the basis that I don't want to take it apart, pretty much. So that's kind of the main factor. I'm going to try and find a piece that resembles the parts that I used. I don't have one right on the top of my hand, so we'll just try and do our best. But I'm not going to do a review of the sets, but we do have the Mandalorian ambush with Moff Gideon. But one thing I do want to point out real quick is I saw someone talking about a possibility problem with Moff Gideon's helmet, and it is pretty loose. There is pretty good clutch power, but that is a concern. And so when I'm done doing a video with him, I'm definitely going to take him apart and keep them separate. But one thing that I wanted to point out, because of the loose helmets, as he falls down, the new Praetorian Guards, they also have a loose helmet similar, focus back in, to Moff Gideon's. But if you take the new Commandos, well, I guess they kind of have it, but not nearly as drastic, right? So that was kind of a concern about these, but I think they'll be all right, but we'll see what happens later on. So we'll take the battle pack portion off the table, same with the box, because we don't need the box, and we'll take off the beautifully modified Sith Infiltrator. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out, and make sure you watch it, because it'll help me out a lot. So now we have strictly just the play set. Let me try and rearrange the camera real quick. All right, hopefully that's better with a more downward angle. We'll take off all the figures because that's not really important, but the idea behind this modification is to make it more playable and displayable, as you see in the title. Playable and displayable at the same time. A lot of play sets, like you saw in the box, it's not a very good display piece, right? There's not much place, there's not a very good amount of spots or places to place figures. You have roughly 3 studs, and that's where he's at, right? Where Paz Visla's at. And on the backside also, there is, it doesn't even show it, but there's no room right here. You have 2 studs right there. If you're lucky, maybe 1. And it's not very playable or displayable. It's playable, you know, you have to use imagination, but what about being able to display it and making it look great? So that was the goal with using a handful of extra pieces, which might not be readily available to other people, but easily accessible. We'll take off all these crates. I do love these crates, by the way, from the both sets. I don't know why. Super simple crate design, but love it. Take off Praetorian Guards and the Paz Visla. So the 2 pieces that I took off of the set were this clip here and then this black triangle angle piece. Those are the 2 pieces that I added or took off. And oh, here we go. Look at this. Look at all this extra space in the back for displaying and playability, right? We'll take off all these guys. And it adds so much room because that scene that I had there with them looking through the window is in The Mandalorian, right? The pieces that I added were this 1, 2, 3, this up here. I think that makes up a 2x12. And then I added these 2 long pieces. I think they're 18s. So that's what I added to make this set more accessible and more playable. And I also added this one. This is where the triangle piece was from. I took that off. So it's kind of not a crazy intrusive modification, but not the easiest by any means, but definitely worthwhile. I did have a lot of plate pieces. I do have a lot of tile plate pieces. As you can see that I'm able to tile off and make it smooth and textured at the same time with the jumpers and small studded pieces. But that's the idea behind this modification. I didn't do anything with the tower. I do have plans just to mess around with this and set it up, because the clip did come off of this side. There is no clip over here to attach it like the Lego designers designed it to. So that's not part of it, but we can easily modify it in. But let's just add Visla back in without his rifle. But you just get that much more playability, you know? It's just that much more simple and fun. You can display this, you can set it up, and I would set it up this way. Just something like this from the scenes of the Mandalorian arc, the Mandalorian TV show. We have the Commandos arresting Din Djarin, that is the UCS Razor Crest Din Djarin, and Moff Gideon flying down. And it's just something pretty simple and yet accessible, I think, for a lot of people, because if you wanted to make this displayable, you might have the pieces to do this easily. I have all those black plate pieces from my modification of my TIE Fighter, making it into a TIE Interceptor from the smaller condensed version. I think it was 2019, I think, of the TIE Fighter. That's where I got those pieces. But, you know, something simple like this, or like I had it before, take all these guys off. We have the new Mandalorians from the newer sets. You know, you have all these guys. I don't have the new Bo-Katan from the Spider set because I don't like that Spider set whatsoever. I do like the Bo-Katan from that figure, or from that set, but I'm not paying that $50 for one figure. You know, you have all these Mandalorians, have some Mandalorian loyalists, you know, from the battle packs. Add them in. If I can get them to stand. It just adds depth, and then if you look, you'll be able to see them through the glass, which was the design. That's what I wanted to do, for it to be able to be seen, and, you know, have these Praetorian guards fighting Visla. That was the whole goal, and it worked out pretty well. I know this wasn't a detailed modification video of how to do it, but this is what I wanted to do. And if I was able to show you how to, or how to begin to do this and make it better, that would be amazing. If you guys do end up doing something along this line and make it better, please tag me. Make a video about it and tag me in it if that's possible. I would love to see how you guys design this set and this modification to make it more displayable and playable, because, I mean, you can play with it. I don't play with them. I display them. And yeah. So if you like this kind of content, guys, if you liked this video, which I think you would, because how could you not? This is a great modification of a set that is highly desired. So if you're new, if you like this video, if you like this kind of modification stuff and reviews of Lego Star Wars and sometimes Mega Construx Halo, make sure you consider subscribing, because that helps me out. If you like this video, smash that like button. And as always, take it easy.